going on, y'all? Welcome to another Monday Night Raw review. Now, fresh back from my vacation, and now that I've seen what happened on SmackDown, now I understand better what's happening on Raw. So, with that being said, let's get into this review. So, they kicked off Monday Night Raw with Kevin Owens after Kevin Owens made that shocking return to SmackDown, or to some not so shocking, but he made a shocking return to SmackDown to be the last member of Team Brawling Brutes. Kevin Owens basically came out and talked about why he chose to side with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, saying that it had nothing to do with Sami Zayn, though it was one person on that side that it did have something to do with, and that was Roman Reigns himself, and that how it's been 2 long years since him and Roman have actually gone face to face, and that in those times, he not once but 3 times he took Roman Reigns to the limit, and that he would have been the champion if it wasn't for his bloodline brethren interfering. And then he introduced the rest of his team as they all came out and basically cut a promo about this Saturday's Survivor Series War Games, as what's his name, Butch like to say. They came out and basically talked about why they're gonna beat the Team Bloodline and whatnot. But that was Saturday. Sheamus also talked about how that he also mentioned his connection with. Well, no, I think that was Friday when he mentioned his connection with Drew McIntyre. But yeah, they basically ran down the Bloodline and talked about why they ran not go, why all of them make perfect sense to go to war with each other. Go to war together against Bloodline. This would bring out the Judgment Day, who basically came out and ran down on and told Drew and gang that the reason that they should take themselves back to Monday Night Raw. To SmackDown, because on Monday Night Raw, the Judgment Day runs everything, and that they completely ignored them. They cut a promo on AJ Styles, and they were saying that they was gonna basically defeat him at defeat AJ Styles at Survivor Series. It's Fan Battle versus AJ Styles, and they're gonna defeat him at Survivor Series. And then Rhea mentions about helping the women's. She said something about the fact that the women's War Games match is gonna be the more important War Games match. And basically they told the Brawling Brutes and the rest of the team, that they hope the Team Bloodline beats them, and that they let them off with mercy. But Sheamus and them were challenging them to a match, which would lead into our first match of the night, which was Judgment Day versus the Brawling Brutes with Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre at ringside. And this was actually a good opening 6-man tag match. It had good storytelling. It had Dominic getting more heat on him as he should, because I like the new character they trying to paint him as just a scared, whiny brat who just hides behind Finn Balor and Damian Priest. But other than that, the match was good. I think it went to two commercial breaks, so it went the distance. But the Brawling Brutes would get the victory here. I think they pinned it was either Damian Priest. I'm pretty sure it was Dominic Mysterio though. It was 1 or 2 with me leaning towards Dominic Mysterio that got pinned for the Brawling Brutes to get the victory. But the battle still raged on, and I think even the OC came out and helped out. Yeah, 'cause I think that's what Dominic tried to run away from Sheamus, but the OC came out and a little brawl ensued. We had a backstage interview with Johnny Gargano talking about, was asked if he was going to expose The Miz more in his match against The Miz, and he just said that he's looking just to, get justice served. He came out for the match. This would be the second match. It would be Johnny Gargano versus The Miz, but it was a little twist. The Miz did not. The Miz did come out in his wrestling attire, revealing that he chose not to wrestle. Basically saving himself for Survivor Series against Dexter Lumis, but instead had his replacement be Omos. So the second match ended up being Johnny Gargano versus Omos, which was actually a pretty good match. I won't say it was great. It wasn't great, but it was still good for the fact that they allowed Johnny Gargano to actually get some offense, and the match actually went longer than you thought it was, but it ended the same with Omos getting the victory over Johnny Gargano. But Johnny Gargano did take Omos off his feet, so there's that. We got a Seth Rollins promo / Austin Theory promo, because Austin Theory cut one after Seth Rollins. But Seth Rollins was interviewed. Yeah, I don't think Seth Rollins actually came out to the ring at all this Monday, but he was interviewed backstage, and basically revealed that he's the one who asked for this match, and I guess the match is going to be a triple threat match for the United States Championship. It's going to be him versus Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley, which would be the second, I believe, championship matches that's going to take place at Survivor Series. I think the other one is just going to be Ronda Rousey versus Chauncey Blackheart for the SmackDown Women's Championship. But yeah, Seth Rollins just ran out why he asked for that, because he's Seth freaking Rollins, and he's going to defeat both Bobby Lashley and this new Austin Theory for us to be more serious, and that he's going to show him why he's Seth freaking Rollins. Austin Theory then, after and so Austin Theory is somewhere else backstage watching the interview, and he turned to the camera and cut his own promo saying that at Survivor Series he's going to beat both of them, because he's not the future this and not the future that anymore. That he's the present, and that he's more serious and more deadly than he has ever been. And that at Survivor Series he's going to beat both Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley, and that what he do to Mustafa Ali is going to be a preview of what he's going to do to both of them, which end up being the next match is Austin Theory versus Mustafa Ali, which was also an okay match, just like the Omos versus Johnny Gargano match. I'm glad that Mustafa Ali is getting TV time, but not so much that he's being used as just a plot device for other wrestlers. And he was that basically for this match. He was more of a plot device for Austin Theory. Like I said, he did. It was a good match. It's just I need Mustafa Ali to be more of a. They need to get behind him a little bit more, because he's deserved it. He deserved for almost wanting to quit and have to be talked back into staying. But the match itself, was good. Has good moments, but like I said, it deserves more to Austin Theory. Austin Theory won with an 8-count down to prove his point. But Austin Theory would get promoted by Bobby Lashley, who came out and talked about how he made mocking Austin Theory for being this new edgier, more serious Austin Theory, and he said the way you standing in that ring like you ready for a fight, and he was backstage. Then he came out to the ring and basically continued by saying that he was surprised that Austin Theory was still in the ring, and that he gave him credit for being brave but stupid if he's gonna really stay in the ring to fight him, and Austin Theory did, and they would get to brawl themselves, and which was an okay brawl. It was like it took a minute for the security to get there, but they eventually did get there. But Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley did brawl, which made me a little bit hyped for that match. I am not gonna lie. The good promos from all three people is making me a little invested into it. Not a lot, but a little. Moving on, we got Matt Riddle and Elias versus the Alpha Academy, and this is a unique pairing, considering the fact that rumors suggest that when Randy Orton returns, he's supposed to turn on Matt Riddle, I guess, turning Randy Orton heel again. But yeah, this was a good tag team match. It just like the first match of the night actually went quite the distance. I think this went through 2 commercial breaks itself. So it was a good match. I enjoyed it for the most part, but I wasn't really interested in it. So not the best of tag team matches, but not bad itself. And Matt Riddle and Elias got the victory here. We got because of a backstage promo where it looked like not Drew, but Baron Corbin and JBL was having like a backstage promo again where they was at a poker game, running down the state they was in. I think it was in New York. They was running down how bad New York is, and then they got interrupted by Drew McIntyre, who they ran down his home country team, and how they didn't make it to the into the playoff, their version of the playoffs or whatnot. And Drew said because he respects his elders, he's not going to do nothing to JBL, but he sucker punched Baron Corbin and challenged him to a match. Thus, this match got underway. Yeah, it was Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre. They even mentioned how that little past rivalry and how Drew McIntyre was the first person to kick out at the end of days of Baron Corbin. I forgot all about that up until that match, Baron Corbin has never had someone kick out of his move. But yeah, it was a good match. Proving why that match was one of the best matches that Baron Corbin has ever had, and this was no letdown in itself. The match was good. I enjoyed it. Pretty good spots, and Drew McIntyre got the victory. Let's move on to the OC as they cut a promo about them having a victory over at the Judgment Day, and how Mia Yim, Mi Shin, as they've been calling her, will help Team Bianca win against Team Damage Control. And their promo would get interrupted by the Judgment Day in a big backstage brawl that would spill out into the main event, which would be Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. And this match, just like the matches that we're going to have, a match, I think it's a tag team match on Friday, but this match against with Rhea Ripley and Asuka is to determine who will get the advantage going into War Games. Now, to my knowledge, I guess the advantage is whoever wins is going to always have one more teammate in the War Games match than the other opponent. I think that's how it went. And that I'm getting from what I've been seeing, how they've been explaining, War Games is somewhat like the Royal Rumble, where it's going to be it's supposed to be like one person from each team starting out, then everybody gets basically entered as it goes on. But except you don't get eliminated. The only way is you have to basically be able to defeat the opponent, and basically to the point where you can pick whoever gets paid on the other side, just lose the whole match. With that being said, I think Bianca Belair cut a promo saying how she wouldn't have it any other way to go to War Games with her team, and that they're going to introduce their last member on Friday Night SmackDown. This will bring out Damage Control with Rhea Ripley, and how they talk about they're going to be the ones to win, and thus Rhea jaw jack with Asuka, telling her that this match is going to end the same way that it ended before, when she defended her title against Asuka when she was women's champion. And thus the match got underway, and it looked like Damage Control and the rest of the team, both Asuka's team and Damage Control team, basically went back to stage and let Rhea and Asuka do their thing in the ring, which was a worthy main event. It was a good main event with near falls and victories abound, but distractions got involved with Damage Control coming back out to try to help Rhea with Bianca Belair and them following suit, and thus both sides trying to get the other person the edge. but in the end, Rhea hit the riptide to have the victory in their advantage. But the victory was short-lived as a brawl broke out. The rest of the OC, Mia Yim finally showed back up and helped out with the brawl. And I think I think Asuka and them stood tall. This episode was definitely a go home episode, so it was nothing special. Nobody returned. There was no Dexter Lumis. Just a mention of Dexter Lumis, but other than that, this was a typical go home show with a couple of good things, and just mainly the objective here was to build up hype for Survivor Series War Games, and they did do that. They they even had like a little commercial advertising War Games and stuff like that. So it definitely was just a build up for that, and for the most part, it succeeded. I'm going to give this episode. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Big ups, because it wasn't a bad episode. It was just decent, but you let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and if you enjoyed this review. You hit the button right there in the upper right corner for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoyed the video so much you want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit those buttons, guys. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. But don't go anywhere. Got the review for Black Adam and some more Gotham Knights gameplay coming your way. Peace.